The boat rocked gently as Ethan Cole stood at the bow, eyes fixed on the fog-draped island ahead. The air smelled of salt and old secrets. Nora Bennett said, "It doesn't look abandoned to me," Ethan replied. "Places like this never really are." The ocean was still, but the silence was heavy. The name of Dr. Amelia Cross lingered in Ethan's thoughts, her research logs hinting that someone had stayed behind after the evacuation. Caleb Ward adjusted the radio, muttering about strange static in the frequency. The island loomed closer, cliffs rising like broken teeth. Nora felt the unease grow stronger as gulls circled overhead. Ethan whispered, "If the island wants to keep its secrets, it chose the wrong visitor." The mist swallowed their boat as the shoreline appeared, revealing the outline of a decayed dock and shadows moving among the ruins. The sand was soft beneath their boots, yet footprints already marked the path ahead. Ethan Cole crouched, tracing one with his finger. Nora Bennett said, "Someone's been here recently." Caleb Ward laughed nervously, "Maybe just old marks." But the tide was high and fresh impressions glistened. The forest whispered in distant gusts. A rusted sign reading Research Site Delta leaned half-buried near the shore. Ethan brushed dirt away, murmuring, "This wasn't in the original map." The silence deepened, interrupted only by the creak of trees. Nora's camera clicked as she captured the prints. Each photo made her heart beat faster. Ethan stood tall, gaze fixed on the dark trail ahead. "Let's see who left these behind," he said. The forest edge greeted them with wind that carried faint whispers. Ethan Cole paused, hearing syllables that almost formed words. Nora Bennett said, "Do you hear that?" Caleb Ward tightened his backpack straps. The trees swayed as if breathing. Each gust bent the branches toward them. The deeper they walked, the heavier the air became, full of damp soil and rot. Ethan lifted his recorder, static blending with faint voices. "It's electromagnetic," he said, Nora whispered. "Or something else." Leaves rustled violently though the air was still. Caleb muttered, "Feels like the island's watching." The path curved toward darkness, and the light dimmed, painting their faces in pale shadows. Wooden huts appeared like ghosts between the trees, roofs collapsed and vines creeping over doorways. Ethan Cole stepped into one, the floor groaning under his boots. Dust swirled around as Nora Bennett shone her flashlight across cracked walls. "Someone lived here long after the evacuation," she said. Caleb Ward examined a torn journal on the ground, words smudged but readable. "They never left." Ethan whispered, "Then where are they now?" The air felt thick, as though time itself had stopped. A swing creaked outside, moving on its own. Nora froze, camera trembling in her hand. The silence that followed felt alive. Night fell fast. The group camped near the village ruins, their lanterns casting faint orange halos. Ethan Cole wrote notes while Nora Bennett reviewed her photos. Caleb Ward adjusted the radio again, static fading into faint, rhythmic beeps. "That's not random," Ethan said quietly. Nora replied, "It sounds like Morse code." A distant thud echoed from the woods. Caleb froze, whispering, "We're not alone." The radio hissed louder, forming strange, distorted words. Ethan turned toward the darkness, eyes steady, but heart racing. "Get the lanterns higher," he said. "Get the lanterns higher." Nora's breath fogged in the cold air as shadows moved beyond the trees. Morning broke through low clouds as Ethan Cole set up his instruments near the ruins. The air shimmered with invisible energy. Nora Bennett said, "It feels like the air's humming." Caleb Ward adjusted the radio, the static now pulsing rhythmically. Ethan recorded frequencies that didn't belong to any known spectrum. "It's not interference," he said. "It's communication." The sound grew louder when they faced the lighthouse. Nora whispered, "Maybe it's them." Ethan glanced toward the waves, his mind racing with possibilities. He could feel the truth reaching out through static and wind. "The island's talking," he said quietly, "and we're the first to listen in decades." Inside a half-collapsed hut, Ethan Cole found an old transmitter buried beneath moss. The metal was rusted but still humming faintly. Caleb Ward said, "Impossible. No power source." Nora Bennett brushed away debris, revealing a logo. Delta Research Division. Ethan connected a cable to his analyzer, sparks flickering. "It's drawing power from the ground," he said. The signal rose, a deep resonance that vibrated through their bones. Nora stepped back, eyes wide. "It's like it's alive." The radio screeched, forming distorted syllables. Ethan whispered, "Someone built this to keep sending." Even after everyone left, they followed the signal to the shore, where waves crashed against jagged rocks. Ethan Cole held the recorder high, listening. The sound of the sea twisted into a pattern. A voice layered beneath the surf. Nora Bennett said, "It's saying something." Caleb Ward frowned. "That's not human." Ethan's expression darkened as the words became clearer. "Still here," the phrase repeated, echoing through the wind. "That's Amelia's transmission code," Ethan whispered. The ocean seemed to pulse with each word, as if breathing with them. Nora clutched her jacket. "Then she's still out there," she said. Evening shadows stretched as they entered a grove of blackened trees. A faint light flickered between trunks. Ethan Cole raised his lantern. "There's someone there," Nora Bennett whispered. The figure moved soundlessly, too tall to be human. Caleb Ward said, "It's a reflection, don't move." But the shape turned toward them, face pale and eyes glowing faintly blue. Ethan took a cautious step forward, heart hammering. "Who are you?" he said. The figure vanished, leaving behind an old badge, Dr. Amelia Cross. Nora gasped. "She's dead?" she said. The wind howled, scattering leaves like ash. They followed the path where the badge had fallen, leading to a hidden tunnel sealed by stone. Caleb Ward pried open the entrance with a crowbar. A rush of stale air escaped, thick with chemical scent. Ethan Cole stepped inside, flashlight beam revealing rusted lab tables and shattered glass. Nora Bennett said, "This is where it started." Faded diagrams covered the walls. Waveforms, human silhouettes, and words phase continuance. Ethan read the notes aloud. They were experimenting on resonance, living frequency patterns. The floor vibrated faintly underfoot. "Whatever they built," he said, "it's still running." Fog rolled over the cliffs as Ethan Cole walked ahead with his lantern cutting through the gloom. The air felt heavier, filled with unseen movement. Nora Bennett called, "Ethan, stop! Someone's out there." From the mist emerged Silas Crane, his face hidden beneath a hood, his eyes steady and calm. Caleb Ward whispered, "He's been watching us." Silas raised a trembling hand. "You shouldn't have come," he said quietly. "The island remembers." Ethan's voice steadied. "Who are you?" Silas stepped closer, revealing a scar across his temple. "I kept it alive," he said, "and it wants to finish what was started." The waves crashed violently as thunder echoed over the sea. The air trembled with static. The next morning, the tide had drawn back, revealing symbols etched into the sand. Ethan Cole knelt to study them, tracing the spirals with his gloved hand. Nora Bennett said, "They look mathematical." Silas Crane nodded slowly. "They're frequencies, coordinates of something buried beneath." Caleb Ward frowned. "Who drew them?" Silas looked away. "Not who," he said. "What?" Ethan's recorder clicked on, capturing faint vibrations that rose from beneath the beach. The earth itself hummed like a machine waiting to wake. Dr. Amelia Cross wrote about this, Ethan murmured. Silas said softly. And now her creation stirs again. Inside a decaying lighthouse, the group found faded blueprints pinned to a wall. Ethan Cole brushed away mold, revealing a massive circular structure marked beneath the island. This is no lab, Nora Bennett said. It's a containment chamber. Silas Crane replied, a safeguard, or a prison. Caleb Ward muttered. For what? The wind howled through broken glass as Ethan unfolded another sheet, showing wave frequencies intertwined with human brain patterns. His voice grew tense. They were transmitting consciousness, he said. Silas stepped closer, whispering. The Keeper of Secrets feared this truth. The walls seemed to pulse with unseen energy as light flickered. The floor beneath the lighthouse gave way to a spiral staircase leading underground. Ethan Cole descended first, lantern flickering over ancient stone. This wasn't built by the research team, Nora Bennett said. The steps resonated faintly, as if sound traveled through the stone. Silas Crane whispered, they found this place. They didn't make it. Caleb Ward's flashlight caught metallic carvings that shimmered faintly. The air was electric, humming like a heartbeat. Ethan touched a wall, feeling warmth beneath his palm. It's alive, he said softly. Silas answered, and it's waiting for command. The sound of dripping water echoed endlessly below. At the bottom, a vast chamber opened, lined with cables and glass cylinders pulsing faintly. Silas Crane approached a control panel covered in dust. Dr. Malcolm Reeves built this, he said quietly. Ethan Cole turned sharply. He was the director of the island project. Silas nodded. He called it the Continuum. It keeps memories alive, even after death. Nora Bennett said, you mean it's a machine that thinks? Silas looked at the glowing walls. No, he said. It remembers. The lights flickered brighter, as if hearing its name. Ethan whispered, then it remembers her. The sound of a low hum filled the chamber. The underground chamber trembled as Ethan Cole brushed dust from a steel door, sealed with old bolts. A faint hum came from within. Nora Bennett said, whatever's behind that isn't meant to be opened. Caleb Ward examined the wiring and said, this power's still active. Silas Crane stood back, shaking his head. Dr. Malcolm Reeves locked it for a reason. Ethan placed his hand against the metal. It felt warm, like something alive was pressing back. The answers are here, he said. Sparks jumped from the lock as the system reactivated. A single word flickered across the console. Resonance. The sound deepened until the air quivered. Nora whispered, the island's waking up again. The old control room beyond the door was lined with shattered monitors and reels of magnetic tape. Ethan Cole powered one machine, static spilling through the speaker. Then a voice, Dr. Malcolm Reeves, said, Experiment 47 failed. Subject destabilized. Nora Bennett covered her mouth. That's Amelia's voice in the background, she said. The tape screeched before cutting off. Caleb Ward muttered, they were trying to record human thoughts. Silas Crane nodded grimly. They succeeded once. That's what destroyed the team. Ethan rewound the tape, but a whisper came instead of speech. His own name, faint and drawn out, echoing from decades past. The documents found on a rusted desk revealed the project's code name. EchoMind, Ethan Cole read aloud. Transference through harmonic resonance, Nora Bennett said. They were transferring consciousness. Silas Crane sighed. They were binding it. Caleb Ward traced a diagram of a human silhouette surrounded by circles. This isn't science, he said softly. Ethan turned another page showing an image of Dr. Amelia Cross inside a glass chamber. Notes written in her hand read, It remembers because it never died. Nora whispered. She became part of it. The lights flickered as the sound of faint breathing echoed through the hall. They entered a circular room lined with glass pods. Within each, faint silhouettes shimmered like trapped light. Ethan Cole stepped closer to one and saw a human face flicker within. Nora Bennett whispered, "Are they alive?" Silas Crane's voice was steady. "No, but they think they are." Caleb Ward's flashlight revealed etched words on the wall. "Memory cannot die." The hum intensified as one pod blinked open slightly, releasing a sigh of mist. Ethan said, "She used human minds to power the resonance field." Nora backed away, whispering, "This island is her tomb and her machine." One pod flickered brighter, revealing the frozen face of Dr. Amelia Cross. Ethan Cole pressed his hand against the glass. Her eyes opened briefly, glowing faintly with life. Nora Bennett gasped. "She's conscious?" Silas Crane said, partially. "She's the core." Caleb Ward stepped back, voice shaking. "Then she's the signal," Ethan whispered. "She became the island." The chamber lights pulsed faster, responding to Amelia's faint breath. "She never wanted to be left behind," Nora said softly. Ethan nodded, his reflection merging with hers in the glass. "Now we understand why it never stopped calling." The deeper tunnels echoed with dripping water as Ethan Cole realized Caleb Ward was gone. Nora Bennett called his name, but her voice vanished in the distance. Silas Crane said, "He's not lost. He's hiding." Ethan found Caleb's tool bag near a broken console, its contents scattered. "He's been tampering with the system," Ethan said. The walls trembled as lights flickered red. Nora whispered, "He triggered something." The sound of heavy machinery roared beneath their feet. "He's betrayed us," Ethan said through clenched teeth. Silas warned, "He's working for someone who still controls this island." Above them, the resonance field began to hum again. Ethan Cole followed faint footprints through steam-filled corridors until he saw Caleb Ward working at a console, face illuminated by blue light. "Caleb, stop!" Ethan shouted. Caleb turned, eyes distant and cold. "It's not betrayal," he said. "It's completion." Nora Bennett appeared behind Ethan, whispering, "He's controlling the system." Silas Crane said, "He's bonded to it." Sparks flew as Caleb entered a final command. "Doctor, Malcolm Reeves promised this would change everything," Caleb said. Ethan stepped forward, pulling him away from the machine. "You've doomed us all," he said. Caleb smiled faintly. "No, Ethan. You woke her up." The system overloaded, filling the chamber with white light. Ethan Cole and Caleb Ward stood face to face as static crackled between them. "You were never here to find truth," Ethan said. Caleb laughed softly. "Truth is chaos." Reeves wanted control. Nora Bennett stepped closer, shouting, "You helped them trap Amelia Cross." Caleb turned sharply, eyes wet with guilt. "She volunteered. She wanted immortality." Silas Crane raised his lantern, voice echoing, "Immortality isn't life. It's imprisonment," Ethan said. "You can still stop it." Caleb hesitated, then looked toward the core where Amelia's pulse grew louder, like a heartbeat made of thunder. The power core erupted, sending sparks across the room. Caleb Ward staggered, clutching his chest. "It's merging," he gasped. Ethan Cole pulled Nora Bennett behind cover as cables tore from the ceiling. Silas Crane shouted, "The system's collapsing." Caleb fell to his knees, eyes glowing faint blue. "She's inside me," he said weakly. Ethan stepped closer, his voice steady. "Then let her go." Caleb smiled faintly. "She doesn't want to leave." The chamber's glass cracked as Amelia Cross's faint reflection flickered everywhere. Nora whispered, "She's spreading." The air shimmered with heat and light as the island's pulse reached the surface. Ethan Cole dragged Nora Bennett through collapsing corridors, while Silas Crane guided them with the flickering lantern. "The tunnel's closing," Nora shouted. "Behind them," Caleb Ward's voice echoed faintly, merging with the static. "You can't stop her." The walls buckled as power surged upward. Ethan turned back once, watching blue light chase them down the passage like a living wave. "Move!" he shouted. They burst into open air just as the entrance collapsed, sending a gust of dust and heat into the night. Nora gasped. "Is it over?" Silas whispered. "No. The island just changed form." Ethan looked toward the glowing horizon. "Then we're running out of time." Dawn broke through heavy clouds as Ethan Cole and Nora Bennett searched the remains of an old outpost near the cliffs. Silas Crane uncovered a rusted lockbox buried under debris. Inside lay a worn diary marked with the name Lena Ortiz. Nora whispered. She was part of the first research team. Ethan turned the brittle pages, each one filled with desperate notes and sketches of the resonance machine. "She warned them," he said softly. Silas added, "She saw the truth before any of them did." The last entry read, "The island is listening. It knows who remembers." The ocean wind howled through broken glass, carrying a faint hum that matched the diary's rhythm. Inside the diary, Ethan Cole found a photograph showing Dr. Amelia Cross, standing beside Lena Ortiz and Dr. Malcolm Reeves. The image was dated a year after the island was supposedly abandoned. Nora Bennett said, "They came back." Silas Crane nodded grimly. "And they hid the evidence." Ethan flipped the photo over, revealing words in faded ink. "Face continuance begins." The realization sank deep. This wasn't science anymore, Ethan murmured. It was survival. Nora's voice trembled. "Lena Ortiz must have tried to stop them," Silas said quietly. "Then she became the island's first victim." Lightning flashed across the horizon as thunder echoed above the ruins. They followed the coordinates found in Lena Ortiz's notes to a half-collapsed bunker deep in the forest. Inside, they found a small containment chamber filled with dust and shattered glass. A recording clicked on. Lena's voice said, "They used me as the host." Ethan Cole's expression froze. "She was part of the experiment," Nora Bennett said. "Then the resonance field isn't mechanical. It's biological," Silas Crane whispered. "It was grown, not built." Ethan listened as Lena's voice faded. "I hear her in my dreams." She never stopped calling. The radio on the table hummed, echoing her final word. "Mother." By dusk, waves crashed violently against the island as storm clouds gathered. The ground trembled, and the resonance tower flickered with light once more. Ethan Cole shouted over the wind, "It's reactivating on its own." Nora Bennett clung to a railing as the sea rose. Silas Crane said, "It's Lena Ortiz. She's the key that binds the system." The hum grew into a pulse, sensing with the thunder. Ethan opened the diary again, reading a final phrase written in trembling ink. "To end it, release her." Lightning struck the tower, sending a shockwave through the island. The world glowed blue for one breathless instant. After the storm, silence returned. The tower still glowed faintly, now pulsing with a slower rhythm. Ethan Cole stood before it, exhausted and drenched. Nora Bennett said quietly, "We stopped it." Silas Crane shook his head. "No, we only changed it." The diary pages scattered in the wind, each glowing faintly before dissolving into air. Ethan whispered, "Lena Ortiz gave everything to end the cycle." Nora touched his arm. "And you'll do the same if you keep going." The island's hum softened into what sounded almost like breathing. Ethan stared into the horizon, knowing that truth demanded sacrifice. And theirs had just begun. The sky cracked open with light as the island trembled beneath thunder. Ethan Cole led Nora Bennett and Silas Crane across the flooded ruins, waves crashing over stone paths. "It's not over!" Nora shouted. Silas pointed toward the glowing tower in the distance. "The resonance core is unstable," Ethan said. "Then it's waking again." The air shimmered, filled with the same frequency that once echoed from the depths. A low rumble built until it sounded like breathing. The sea rose higher, surrounding them in mist. "The island's alive," Silas murmured. Ethan's face hardened. "Then we end it tonight." The storm roared with fury as they pressed forward into chaos. Inside the tower, consoles sparked to life, lights pulsing like veins. Ethan Cole placed his recorder on the main panel. "It's broadcasting again," he said. Nora Bennett scanned readings, eyes wide. "It's using the island's magnetic field," Silas Crane whispered. "It's not sending, it's summoning." The sound intensified, forming words in a distorted voice. "Return the core." Ethan froze. "It's her," he said. "Amelia Cross." The lights flickered, revealing her face in the static. "She's trying to complete the cycle." Nora's voice trembled. "Then if it completes, the island consumes itself." Ethan nodded slowly. "Then we have one chance to break it." As lightning illuminated the sky, a doorway opened on the upper platform. A tall figure stepped out. Dr. Malcolm Reeves, aged and worn but unmistakable. Silas Crane whispered, "He's alive," Ethan Cole said. "You created this nightmare." Reeves smiled faintly. "I perfected it," Nora Bennett said. "You let Amelia Cross die here," Reeves replied. "She didn't die. She became eternal." The resonance deepened as the core's glow surrounded him. "This island holds the future of memory," Reeves said. Ethan shouted, "You've turned life into an echo." Reeves extended his hand toward the console. "And now it's time for you to join her." The tower quaked as the resonance core overloaded. Ethan Cole rushed to the main console, overriding the control frequencies. "If we reverse the field, it'll destroy itself," he shouted. Dr. Malcolm Reeves lunged toward him, yelling, "You'll erase everything." Nora Bennett grabbed a fallen cable, sparking as she connected it. Silas Crane said, "Do it now." Ethan pressed the switch. A burst of white light filled the chamber as Amelia Cross' voice echoed, calm and clear. "Thank you." The core exploded in a blinding pulse, sending shockwaves across the island. Everything fell silent, except the soft hiss of rain and fading static. When dawn arrived, the storm was gone. The tower stood half-sunken in silence, smoke rising faintly. Ethan Cole watched the sunlight spread across the wet ground. Nora Bennett asked softly, "Did we end it?" Silas Crane replied, "She's free now." The island's hum was gone, replaced by the sound of waves. Ethan placed the recorder on the ground, its red light fading. "No more signals," he said. Nora looked toward the horizon. "It's peaceful." Silas smiled faintly. "Every ghost deserves rest." As they walked toward their waiting boat, the wind carried a faint whisper. Amelia Cross' voice saying, "Thank you for listening."